Absheni, Sanbonani, Angenama Kennis, how's it? Hello. Jacob Moshokoa, Fairest Cape, driving through Caledon. Had an epic 24 hours test driving this car. The launch of the new Jeep Wrangler. And the reason why I got the new in inverted commas is because I just saw another Jeep Wrangler go the other way, which was an older one. And then I was like, there's really not much of a difference. But for the Jeep enthusiasts, this is particularly for you. There's a lot of new features that have come into this car. And the features include things like an active sway bar to make your rock climbing a lot easier. There's a lot of things that come on these cars which are so modern versus the older ones. Now, talking the word old, hey, 1941 was when the first Willys Jeep was released. We're in 2025. Obviously, it came in different variants, bigger, smaller, more accommodating, etc., etc. But the changes here include this particular engine, a 2-liter turbo, which it performs as well as the old 3-liter V6 that they had. Now, that's the technology that comes into these old cars. Makes them so easy to run with. And obviously they're looking at things like fuel efficiency as well and carbon emissions, etc., etc. When you're overtaking on high speed or high revs, it's very surprising how quickly this car can catch speed. Now, I have to get into the details of spec. This is the Wrangler Rubicon, and what I did get to drive yesterday was something that you would call more of a Joburg city boy spec. That was the Sahara, and that Sahara was very tame in how it came across, simply because it had softer tires. The Sahara felt like it picks up speed a lot better than the Rubicon at some point. And what they told us at the presentation was actually that the Sahara's top speed is somewhere in the 180s, while the Rubicon one is somewhere in the 160s. But that's specifically because Rubicon is for the hardcore off-road enthusiasts. This is gonna take me straight to the few things I don't like about this car. I've been struggling with the hazards of this car. It's been so much trouble. Like, every time I overtake or a truck gives me a bit of space to overtake, you do the hazards thing to say sharp, sharp, thank you. Oh, this car, you have to press the hazards like 3 or 4 times till the hazards stop. Anyway, what you need to know about this engine as well is 200 kilowatts, 400 Newton meters of torque. What Jeep has done is they've made the off-roading experience of this car 10 times better. And they're so sure with what they are building that they are not even fazed by the imitations. Yes, bike, come to the table, bike. GWM tank, you can also come sit at the table. Those guys have made their cars purely based on the aesthetic at Jeep. And the reason why is because Jeeps are popular. There's a reason why a brand that's lasted from 1941 is still thriving right now in 2025. So to be invited to drive the new version of this car is an absolute pleasure, because you can get to appreciate why there's a big following when it comes to the Jeeps. I mean, I learned something. I don't know if you've seen like the videos on YouTube, Twitter and Instagram, TikTok, blah, blah, blah. There's usually that shot where one Jeep is climbing on another Jeep's wheel. They call that the Jeep handshake. Yeah, it's got a name. I thought they were just flexing, or check what my Jeep can do. But there's a big following with Jeeps for a reason. They build solid cars when they drive off-road. We've been fortunate enough to experience these cars on the sand dunes, and even drove this car on the hardest gravel with all the dust. And I'm talking like 100 k's an hour, and it doesn't feel like you're driving on gravel. It's a very comfortable car. It's a very outdoorsy car. Entry level, 1.199. So let's call it 1.2 million rand. That is a sort of like a basic Sahara. Then you get a Sahara Sport, which goes right up into the middle at 1.250. And then you get this guy, the bigger guy, the Rubicon, and the Rubicon is around 1.3 million. A lot of the things that you get with these cars do come as standard, but some of them are slightly changed when it comes to small things like spec. But a lot of things you got to appreciate with a Jeep is how you can make this car the coolest beach buggy ever. Front windscreen drops. Panels here opens. I mean, this has got a sunroof compressor. Sunroof opens all the way to the back. You can take the C-pillar windows off. You can take the entire part at the back off. Then you got this really cool looking beach buggy. And that's when the enthusiasts come in, because they get this really cool looking car. And you got to give Jeep their flowers here. The reason why they have such a big following is simply because of how cool this car is. Because before this, I think the only Jeep I had on tests in my many years of driving was a Renegade Jeep. And that doesn't Jeep like a Jeep should Jeep. So to be able to be invited to drive a real Wrangler, oh man, I'm honored. This Rubicon I'm driving is a really nice Nardo grey color. There's a shocking green mamba that we're following. Then there's this really cute, like purplish ruby pink kind of color. The Sahara, the black Sahara we drove yesterday, is definitely how you gotta spec your Jeep. The issue only comes when you are driving off-road. Looking after a car that's been driving off-road must be hell. But they built this car for people who enjoy off-road. I mean, the mats, there was sand here from the dunes when we were driving yesterday. You just lift up the mat, out. Everything rubber, easy, easy, easy. And all these parts that you put back on the car, take off and put on the car, are they're easy to handle. They really are easy to handle. Before I let you go, it is petrol. It does chow fuel. Let's call it what it is. It chows fuel. Early this morning, we were driving on the gravel and I was trying to keep up with our leader. We were doing something like 16.4 liters per 100 kilometers. Currently now, cruising at around 100, 120, heading towards Cape Town, and I'm on 14.5. Yeah, averaging 14.5. So you know what you're getting yourself into when you're buying this car. And if you've got 1.3 million rand, I don't think your worries are fuel consumption. Anyway, the road noise here is horrible versus the Sahara. So I'll take the Sahara just because of the road noise situation. Anyway, plate, my story is 8. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Hope you enjoyed this launch video of the new Jeep Wrangler. I'll catch you in the next video. Okay, love you. Okay, bye.